Hello Musici, welcome to this new video, and today we're going to analyze the hymn of Brazil. Why? Because one of you, Silvio from Brazil, or Brazil, as they say, hello, posted this question, very interesting thing, and actually I'm not so much into national anthems, basically because I really think that Italians' national anthems really sucks from a musical point of view. So it's terrible and horrible from a musical point of view. I hate it. But Silvio wrote this message, and I listened to the Brazil national anthem, and it was beautiful. A lot of Galant Schemata. We have the Monte, we have the Fonte, we have the Ponte, we have almost all. Do re mi at the beginning, I'm pretty sure. So now let's read this message by Silvio, and then let's analyze together today here the national anthem of Brazil. So, hi Ricardus and community, join Patreon because every day you can find something new to learn. Early music, Renaissance music, analysis, composition. I post every day something so that every day you learn something. Then in a long-term vision you get always better. This is the main principle. Something every day. Recently, there was a discussion here in Brazil about whether the national anthem had plagiarized other composers. This discussion even involved respected music scholars. Okay, I decided to listen to it carefully and realize it is composed almost entirely of Galant Schemata. Bravo that you say Galant Schemata and you don't say schemas. That might be why it feels so familiar. Leading people to think it was plagiarized. Ha ha ha. That's maybe true. It's when they say when they say, maybe someone which is not so expert may say that the music of Clementi is plagiarized by the music of Mozart. No, it is the language of that period. Or Zelenka is not plagiarized by Bach. It's the language of that period. I decide, okay, or maybe my ear is deceiving me and I'm identifying this schemata incorrectly. When you have some time, and if it's not too much trouble, could you or someone from the community listen to it and let me know if they are actually present? Thank you in advance. Here's the ricetta, the recipe. Do re mi, 2 long dias, okay, Fonte in the dominant, Ponte, Do re mi, Monte, 3 stages. Okay, actually I heard those schematas, but now let's listen to the hymn, to the entire hymn, and then let's go more in depth. Okay, okay. So let's open now this, so we have the hymn at the left, the score, and we can listen to the performance at the right. Let's go. Tac. mi, fa, 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 mi, fa, mi, fa, mi, fa, sol, si. Okay, now with the fake lully stick, now let's get more serious and let's analyze all the schemata we can find here. Actually, there are only schemata. So at the beginning, it's just an opening. This opening is an opening based on an arpeggio, do, mi, sol. We are in F major, so let's view the most important thing about Galant Schemata, okay, and hexachords. Now, in F major we have two hexachords. Actually, in any key we have two hexachords. One on the first degree, F ut. These are things you can learn in the even in the solmization level of the Musicus Practicus Academy, because there is the Renaissance path to learn Renaissance music, counterpoint music, counterpoint to compose music. Solmization, cantus firmus, Renaissance notation to read directly from Renaissance notation, and there is another part which is dedicated to Baroque. In the Baroque part, we study this more in depth in all the keys. So we have one hexachord on the first degree, ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, from F ut to de la, here you can see, and another hexachord on the fifth degree from ce, sol, fa, ut to a, la, mi, re, as you can see, a, la. Now, here, this is an upbeat, and so the target note is the first degree F. Now, the opening ut, mi, sol, so ut, mi, sol, it's very common in the Baroque period. I remember I made an analysis. Let's see if we can find it right now. Analysis of a sonata by Haydn. And that sonata by Haydn, let me find it. I did a video with the analysis of this sonata by Haydn, and even here we have the opening do, mi, sol, which is something very common in that period. Do, mi, sol. We are in B flat major, so B flat is do, mi, sol, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, sol, la, sol, la, sol. As you can see, so do, mi, sol is a common opening for that period. Okay, I'll put the link of this video here in the description. Then let's continue. After this do, mi, sol, which is a common opening pattern of this period, we have a syncopation, which is another element very common for that composition. What does it mean? That by introducing this syncopation, he's stating an element which will be developed in other sections. So the first phrase is a do, followed by actually the same harmony, do, re, mi, fa, re, re. So the structural note, of course, is re. Do, this is the main note here, F ut, so do, re. Then the following section is re, re. Something which is like a 6-3 harmony over the bass. The bass is nothing more than or B with 6, okay, or G minor basically, where we have re, then turning into a C in the bass, as you can see, G turning into C, re, mi, and so we have a do, re, mi at the beginning. That's totally true. Do, re plus re, mi. Actually, to be complete, we should say that we are at the presence of the paired do, re, mi. So it's not do, re, mi, but it's do, re, comma, re, mi. In fact, even the figuration and the phrasing is very balanced, it's paired. Then, comma, breath, and then the same thing a step higher. And what is very interesting is that the second time, here instead of an ascending scale, we have a descending scale. Why? to create a contrast. Instead of ascending with these escape tones, re, 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 mi, and then mi. So yes, this is the exordium. In the exordium, the beginning of a composition, we can use the do re mi. Then after the do re mi, the expectation is a sequence. The sequence can be a fifth down, fourth up, a three down, four up, or an ascending sequence. In that case, we have an ascending sequence. So the beginning of the sequence recalls the very beginning of the composition. But then we have this, which is fa, re, sol, mi. What's this? An ascending Monte. What they would call as la, fa, re, sol, and there is one thing which is very interesting. Let's find it. La, fa, sol, fa, sol, fa. So with a little canon, do you see this little canon? Sol, mi, A, F, A, F. This is. Pa, pa. Then fa, re, fa, re. There's an anticipation in the melody because the melody is using the rhythmic pattern of the opening, but there is this little canon which is very nice. Then sol, mi, sol, sol, mi, and then fa, re, sol, mi. We have three stages of this Monte. Now let's identify what kind of Monte is this. If this is a Monte 5/6 or a Monte Principale. Let's see. We have like this. Then okay, it's a Monte Principale. What do we mean with Monte Principale? We mean a Monte where the bass is moving with the basso principale, so the 3-5-8 chord anytime, each phase. So 3-5-8 on F, 3-5-8 here, then on B flat, then it changes here actually, because this is the beginning, okay, when the new phrase is starting. Then here, phase number 1, phase number 2, phase number 3, la, re, and the last phase re, so is a little different because here we have 3-8, 3-8, 3. The last section is faster, moves faster, as you can see. Fam, pam, re, sol, mi, pa. And to create that tension, this time augmented, so diminished seventh, diminished chord, turning into a 4/6. Why? Because we are on degree 4 with the sharp in the bass. So degree 4 in terms of basso continuo. This is a 3 because we have a BD, then we have a diminished fifth and a major 6 because of the G sharp. Why G sharp instead of A flat? Because the composer didn't want to move to a 3-5 harmony. Because if we have D flat, A flat, and this is something very important I explain in stage 8.10 of the partimento method, where we analyze the diminished seventh, how it works, and all the possible way to write a diminished seventh. If we have A flat, we have a Fa, and here even house solmization is very useful. This Fa wants to, which is a musica ficta Fa, ficto Fa, but it's a Fa, wants to move to the Mi. Fa, Mi, descending by step. Fa, Mi. So the resolution should be a G. But if we have G sharp, which is a Mi, Mi, Fa, the resolution is a step higher. Fa, A, Fa, A, Fa. Why? Because in between Mi and Fa we always have the semitone. So Mi, Fa. In the middle there's a semitone. Fa is the higher part. So if G sharp is mi, A is Fa. If A flat is Fa, G is mi. That's why. So if you want to compose something and arrive to the augmented fourth degree, because this is a fourth degree with the natural, so the sharp, and then you want to land over a 6/5, you need these parallel sixths. Then the cadence. Okay. Then here what's happening is very easy because it's the representation of phrase A. As you can see, phrase A we can say from bar number 1 up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to bar number 8, okay, consider it down a bit, but with addition of the text. Now is there is the canto, so the voice, and that's an appoggiatura, of course, with this note, which is where the structural note is F, because it's do, re, 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 mi. Okay, so this is phrase A. The same thing in the harmony, but with the development of the chorus, okay, of the canto. Then, sometimes it takes very little to improve, just a little, but every day. You look at a sheet of music and it seems like a random collection of notes, and now you can't connect them. But if you know how to reveal the meaning and the connection between the notes, you can discover magical and wonderful paths hidden among the melodies and harmonies. You sit at the keyboard, but you don't know where to start composing or improvising a piece. But if you know the right techniques, even just with a few compositional elements, you can create something wonderful. You study a piece, you can play it technically well, but don't understand what's happening harmony and counterpoint wise. But if you change the perspective with which you read and play those notes, you can literally change the way you see them. That's actually a kind of magic. Every month, every week, and every day you can have something special and valuable like this. Video analysis, a lot of PDFs analysis, and handouts of pieces to truly understand what's happening in each passage, in each piece. Improvisation elements like this of the other day of how to improvise a fugue. Practical exercises to learn how to compose music and how to become better at improvising. Fugues, chorale, freeforms, and more. Composition and improvisation pills to discover how the great composers crafted certain passages and learn to imitate them correctly. All of this on Patreon. So much content to explore, so much to learn, and many preview projects to discover. Go to this link, choose the best level for you, and start your adventure. There is something new. Let's see what's happening here. Suddenly, we have a major chord. Let's see what's the meaning of the A major chord. We can do this way, okay. La fa, la fa, la fa, la, mi fa, mi, la, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, do, re, mi, re, sol, mi, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Okay, these two bars, of course, this new section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars, we have a Fonte. The first time in A minor, D minor, of course, with A, which is the 5th degree, A, D minor, La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, and this figuration, ta-ra, 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 Fa, Mi, Re, is arriving from the second section, is arriving from here, so it's reusing the second part of the Do, Re, Mi. Now, notice this. It's true that the first part of the voice, of the text, in terms of harmony, it's identical. In terms of schemata, is the same thing that we have at the beginning, in the first phrase. But it's only developing this figuration, because we have these in both phases, do, re, and re, mi, which is the same that we have here. Pa, 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 pa. And then here we have the same melody, as you can see. So it's not developing the other figuration, the descending scale, this one. But the descending scale, in that case, is developed in the Fonte, in the following phrase, where we have la, la, fa, la, mi, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, re, pa, pa, pa. So, re, mi, re, sol, mi, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So we have the Fonte. This is the Fonte. Fonte, what's the Fonte? The Fonte is a schema composed of a minor phase like D minor plus another phase in the major mode, a step down, so C major. And here we have the descending scale, which is developed, okay. Then, so we had the Do, Re, Mi at the beginning, the Monte, Principale, then we had the Fonte. Of course, we have, okay, we have another Monte. We have other things like the Galant cadence. We can classify these La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re as a Galant cadence because of the presence of parallel thirds. La, 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 Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Do. This is the Galant cadence, the partimento method stage 4.5, okay. Then let's see how it continues. We have do, mi, sol, fa, do, mi, sol, fa, do, mi, sol, fa, fa. And the phrase is ending there. So we have a long fifth degree, as you can see. What's this? This is a ponte, because it's a long stationary fifth degree. And then a new section here repeats the main theme, so the phrase. Re, re, mi, re, mi. And now something new is happening. So we have the representation of what we had before, like the phrase A, but we don't have anymore the Fonte. We have another thing. We have another thing. Let's see what's happening here. We are in that point. Pam pa 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 pam pa pam pa pam. Mi do fa, mi do fa, sol, mi, la. So it's another Monte. This time a chromatic Monte. The first Monte, the Monte Principale we had here, wasn't chromatic, okay? It was just a diatonic Monte, as you can see. Diatonic Monte. Now this Monte is a chromatic Monte, where the harmony is 6/5, as you can see, 6/5, diminished fifth, 3/5, then 6/5 with a diminished fifth, 3/5, pam pam, 3/5, then 6/5, the last stage, and 3/5, as you can see. Okay. After this section, we have Fa with a 6 harmony, 6 Fa, so, sol, so Fa, sol, do, which is nothing more than a cadence, Fa, sol, Fa, mi, Fa, re, sol, do. Now, what's this? This is very interesting because the cadence is arriving here. So we have like our first cadence, which is, let's use an highlighter. So the first cadence happens here, Fa, Sol, but it's not the conclusive cadence. Why? Let's play the melody. As you can see, te, la, sol, fa, re, do, the target note, the last word is ending not on F. But the fact that the text is starting again means that it's not a conclusive cadence, the speech is moving forward. Fa, la, mi, fa, do, re, fa, sol, sol, fa. And then here, as you can see, we have a 6-5, 6-4, very interesting thing. So the harmony, even here is a 6-4, that's why 6-4. So 3-6, 6-4, and it's not resolved. So 6 B flat with 6 harmony, then 6-4, then 5-7 because the third is should be here in the melody. Then 3-6, 6-4 for the second time. Then instead of having at the place of this 6-4 where I wrote 6-5 but it's a 6-4, instead of being followed by this harmony, it's followed by this, like 2-4-6. Why? Sol, fa, mi. And so when you have ascending sixths, imagine descending thirds. So you can imagine A, F, B, G, C. It's like another little Monte principale, where we have Do, Fa, Re, Sol. The same Do, Fa, Re, Sol we had at the beginning in this section. Do, Fa, Re, Do, Fa, Re, Sol in this Monte principale. As you can see, Do, Fa, Re, Sol. But this time, over this C'è Sol, we have the final cadence. Do, Fa, Re, Sol. 5-6, 4-6 harmony. And finally, the resolution. So the fact that we have 3 cadences is very common in this music, in even Baroque music. Want to see an example? One example which comes to my mind is Johann Sebastian Bach. There is a piece, let's open it, in Johann Sebastian Bach folder. Here it is. So we're talking about the first book of the Well-Tempered Clavier in the D minor prelude. There is this section which is very interesting. Oh, okay, here we are. Okay, that place where at this point we have these cadences. So I'll play from the last bar of the previous page. Pay attention. Here at the end we have 4 cadences. Why? Because Bach wanted to introduce something else. But the main thing is that we have Fa, Sol, La, Fa, a deceptive cadence, so a not conclusive cadence. Then another one, Fa, Sol, La, Fa. Then another one, Fa, Sol, La, Fa. And finally the last one, Fa, Sol, La, Re. The same thing is happening in that composition, okay, in this anthem at the end. We have cadence number 1, Fa, I'll play from here, Fa, Fa, Sol, Do, or better, Fa, Sol, Do, Fa, Sol, Fa, Mi, Fa, Sol, Do. This way. And here we have another ending, so the second ending, which is nothing more than an arpeggio based on the final chord, you know, F, F, A, A, C, C, F, F, and then contrary motion. So the first time ascending, ascending, then ascending and descending, as you can see. So just the conclusion. Okay, yes, this is the analysis from of this composition from a 17th, 18th century point of view with all the schematas, all these things. Then you can download this version with my notes on Patreon with a link that you can find here in the description. But before finishing this video, let's listen again to this hymn in order to make our ear, in order to understand better all the schemata and visualize them better on the score with Pasqualo, which is here in the middle, Pasqualo, okay? If you're Italian, check this channel Peratunes because there are a lot of jokes, very nice jokes. And then join Patreon because you can find something amazing every day to learn Baroque and Renaissance music, composition techniques, exercises, a lot of things. And if you want to learn with one-to-one personalized path, of course there are my one-to-one apprenticeship sessions. There is another link in the description where you can read one-to-one lessons, reserve your place. You can get in touch with me. Consider that I have 20-25 students, so they are a lot, okay? So we have to schedule our meetings in advance, but write to me so I can first of all understand what's your current situation, what's your background, so what you have already studied, your background, what's your current situation, so what you can compose now. Can you compose a prelude? Can you harmonize a chorale? Can you compose a counterpoint? Can you compose a suite, a dance, an allemande, a fugue? And what you want to achieve. So we can build a plan together to achieve what you want to realize. Then, so there is another link, and now let's listen again this hymn from the beginning. Let's go. Now we are ready. Let's go. Look at all these books! They are beautiful, each one more than the other, and they contain a lot of information. But they have a big problem. Either you engage in a long, painful battles against the chapters to decipher, understand, and interpret what's written, or they are completely worthless. Think about when you bought your last book to learn how to compose music. How enthusiastic were you? And then, what actually happened? It stayed in your bookcase, gathering dust and rusting away. What you need, therefore, is not 1, 5, or 10 more books. What you need is an experienced guide who takes care to evaluate your current situation, is well aware of what your desired destination is, precisely because you tell him, so he can design the best path for your journey, points out the right exercises, shows you which mistakes to correct and how to correct them, and provides you with concrete tools to improve and get better step by step. In recent years, since I have been here on the web, I have had the pleasure of guiding by hand many people like you to learn how to compose music, to grasp the musical techniques, discover the secrets of musical composition, and then achieve concrete results. Because in the end, that's what matters, that everything you learn becomes a seed that grows your skills, and little by little you become able to compose music. And so you are happy, and happy are the people with whom you share this passion, music. For this reason, in order to help you to achieve these destinations, I've prepared 2 paths, with some things in common, but different. One to become a Renaissance Musicus Practicus, and another one to become a Baroque Musicus Practicus. Are you curious to discover all the beautiful things you can learn with me? Click on this link and download the special informational brochure, which contains all the information you need to make the best choice for you.